Okay, that does it for this episode of Live Streaming with Sean. Thanks everybody for showing up. Oh no, I'm just kidding. That's the end and this is supposed to be the beginning. How's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. There's always some pre-chat before the live stream actually starts, like when my countdown thing is going. It's always fun, and I feel bad because if you're not in that live stream chat, you like miss out on stuff like the meeting that's going on. So anyway, welcome everyone. Yeah, I do enjoy the pre-chat shenanigans. I had to say that slowly. I felt like I could have accidentally profaned trying to say that. That's a mouthful. Anyway, I have no plan for today other than this meeting about the meeting about the meeting, which is meatless. Yeah, and now everybody should be gone because this is not something that you want to be a part of. No, but I still wanted to live stream. I am taking my daughter, my exchange daughter, which sounds like I exchanged her for something. That's not the case. She was an exchange student that lived with us all through high school, and her family's in Korea. So during breaks, she'll often come back up here. She actually stayed with her boyfriend first part of the vacation, but she needs a ride back down to East Lansing. And so right after this live stream, I am driving down to East Lansing. So, and cheese definitely counts as meatless. I eat far too much cheese. Cheese is just amazing. I don't even know why they have ads for cheese. Like why is there a requirement for a company to make advertisements for cheese? We're going to eat cheese. It's delicious. You don't have to sell us on cheese. The product sells itself. Although I do have a brother-in-law who does not like cheese or like any dairy stuff. Like he doesn't like sour cream or cream cheese or cheese slices. Doesn't like macaroni and cheese. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. Um, I do not eat meat, and it's because I have maybe I can say I had, but several years ago I had stage 3 kidney disease, chronic kidney disease, stage 3, and my kidneys were just not doing well. And so when you have bad kidneys, you're encouraged to eat less protein. You obviously still need protein, but less protein because that's, your kidneys work hard to break down protein. And one of the easiest ways for me to do that was to stop eating meat. And kidneys are one of those organs that really don't get better. The hope is that whatever you do just kind of keeps them at their current level of crappy so that it doesn't get worse. And for some odd reason, after I stopped eating meat, this has been 3 years ago now, I think, but I stopped eating meat and my kidney function got better. So right now, I'm not even considered like having chronic kidney disease. I'm just at the really, really scraping the bottom of the barrel of normal-ish, or maybe like a warning level. Anyway, but yeah, so I don't eat meat anymore, and it bothered me a lot more at first. Like, oh, I'll never be able to survive without bacon, but I did, man. So yeah, I eat cheese. Oh, you don't like cheese either? Ooh, yeah. I I I'm a big fan of cheese. So yeah, I mean I didn't I mean I liked meat, right? I ate meat. I was a meat eating guy. And for a long time everybody and still people are like, well, meat's healthy. It's carbs that are unhealthy, and for certain things I think that's very true. I mean, carbs cause you to gain weight and that sort of a thing. And but for my particular case, it's protein that can be a real killer, literally. And so, and there is some non-substantiated or not peer-reviewed conjecture that animal-based protein is harder for your kidneys to break down than plant-based protein. Again, I don't claim that is solid science, but it was an easy way for me to eat less protein. Don't eat meat if that's your main source of protein. if you stop eating meat, you eat less protein. And so that was really, it was just for me, it was just a lazy thing. Like I want to eat less protein. And so I'll stop eating the main source of protein in my diet and I'll get enough from the other stuff. And it worked out really, really well. So, yeah, I have no complaints. So yeah, I'm a vegetarian just because I want to get really old someday. That's the thing. Hello, Lewis. We missed you last week. I don't think you were at the live stream last week, correct? It was it New Year's Day? It was New Year's Day. We did something on New Year's Day. I'm sure we met. Anyway, I remember not seeing you. So welcome back. 3D printed kidneys. I've seen some of those things, and my hope is that I don't need them. But I still want them to exist just in case. So yeah, I would like to just have my regular old kidneys that are in there. So let's see. Oh, biscuits and gravy. You know what? You can't that's true. You can't do it correctly without meat. But they do make it probably has a word and you can get it. So if you're in the US and Dwayne, you are in the US, but if you go south, not necessarily like the deep south, but like we would drive to Florida sometimes for vacation in the before times, before COVID and before my job change and everything. We would actually go on vacation and we would drive down to Florida. And on the way, like we would stay in like Tennessee. The first night we would stay, it was in Macon, Georgia. And when you wake up in the morning, they have this biscuits and gravy, but it's not a sausage gravy. It's just like a white country gravy, I think they called it. And there's no chunks of meat. It's probably made with like animal fat, I think. But I would eat that, to be honest. It's like a peppery country white gravy over biscuits. That's good stuff. And, free continental breakfast because we stay at all the fancy places. Anyway. Oh, let's see. Peanut butter. I don't love peanut butter. Again, my only rule, and it's just a self, if you're talking to me, Scott, about this, it's just a self rule to eat less protein, the meat thing. But yeah, I'll eat peanut butter. I don't love peanut butter on a lot of things, but a good PBJ with like strawberry jam, that's the stuff. Oh, you were sick last week. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Hope you're doing better. Like she only has ever had one kidney, or like she donated a kidney. I know a lot of people who have donated a kidney because you only need one to function, because it'll like grow a bit to do the work of both, that sort of a thing. I have two sort of crappy kidneys, so they're barely doing the job of one. But anyway, that's interesting. Oh yeah, country gravy. Okay. I like that stuff. So yeah, Scott Deranger, it sounds like I'm saying something mean and I'm so sorry. I buy the little packets of, it makes me not Southern clearly, because it's like, instant grits. What do you mean instant grits? No, it's like a packet of stuff like McCormick from the spice aisle, and literally just mix it with hot water. And I think it has like powdered, grease in it and stuff. Anyway, mix it up. That's some good stuff. In fact, if you look on my secondary YouTube channel through the shorts, I made, poutine. And I made a quick video. It's a YouTube short of me making a poutine, and I use the scare quotes purposefully. And I used that white gravy packet powder stuff. That's what I used. Born with one kidney. Oh, cool. Yeah. And I mean, I have two, but they are not great. So anyway, what else is happening in the world? I have, if you've been following along, couple awesome things happened. I think I can pick it up. It's kind of like strapped in here, but this, which you can barely see, is a Wacom 1. Now, it's a lot like, in fact, it looks almost identical to the Wacom HD Cintiq Pro 13 that I had or whatever. This is from, I don't want to call him out necessarily because he didn't do it for attention, but I got the Wacom one from a friend of mine. Yeah, I did. Shane, I got it. And Scott, yeah, I got it. It does, it works. I can put my hand on it. It has absolutely no touch sensor, so I don't have to worry about whether or not the Linux driver has a weird oddity with it or anything. So it should go good. I haven't had an opportunity to get my schedule back into making a comic mode, but the hardware is here. I'm excited about that. And so, yeah, that's going to happen. Over on the workbench over there, I can probably turn this. Let's see if I can turn this. Yeah, pretty messy over there still, but that I've actually been doing stuff on it. I haven't recorded it, but do you see? Let's see if I can. Okay, finger, work with me. That little flickering blue glow over there is. Get this back here. It's well, hold on. It's plugged in. I can't show you, but I'll dig through the garbage like an animal. It's a Sonoff TXT3. It's a switch that I flashed has Moda on it, and now I'm going to install it in our living room to turn on and off light switches. And I hadn't flashed has Moda on stuff in years, and so I hooked the stuff up over there. It worked. That's the sort of stuff I want to start doing and recording on my workbench. I didn't record it yet. I have to admit, I just wanted to make sure that I could still do stuff like that. But I have been getting some other cool home automation stuff. Like this is a Zigbee plug. I've had some bad issues with plugs. Like there's not one on my desk, but you can get a lot of really cheap like Wi-Fi plugs, like even at the grocery store here. But the unfortunate part is they are all proprietary. They only work with their software. They're all cloud-based, and I don't like that at all. I just don't like doing that. One of them uses what is the Tuya, Tuya is a protocol / company that does stuff. They do stuff cloud-based, but you can also control them locally, although it's awkward. I just like to have locally controlled stuff like Z-Wave or Zigbee is my preferred one. And this Sonoff stuff, their software that it comes on or that it comes with is cloud-based. However, they purposefully make it super easy to flash. And so you can flash open source Tasmoda, and then it's all internal. Everything happens internally. You connect to it over Wi-Fi. This particular one is powered by the mains. And so I'm excited about home improvement or home automation stuff that we can talk about. So that's happening. So I got the Wacom one. I got my desk is just about all set. I have a down facing camera and also a webcam to look at my face when I'm standing over there. And there is a tablet that I use for streaming and for flashing and all that stuff. I have the toolboxes in place. My office is still kind of messy. Somebody asked. Who asked? Yeah, Lewis asked. So, I mean, I had to do a lot of work at work this week. So, I didn't get as much tidying done as I wanted, and I made a little bit of a mess over there, but it's just a work in progress mess. I don't count that as the same. So we'll see how it goes. Possible in Canada, about poutine, not like a cup of tea, honestly. You know what? It probably gives me heartburn more than I would like to admit, but French fries, gravy, and cheese. Oh, that's a tough combination to beat. Range with Z-Wave, even with repeaters. That is frustrating. I know that they improved it. Like, I don't know how long ago this was, Scott, but they do like Z-Wave Plus supposedly has better range, and like there was a thing where like one could connect to another, but like you couldn't go any more hops past that, so it had to do like a mesh thing. All right, Lewis has to go. Bye. Have fun. I'll talk to you later. But Z-Wave, I have just been more frustrated with Z-Wave in general. I have had more luck with Zigbee, but I don't have a ton of things. I probably have maybe 10 Z-Wave devices. I could tell you exactly how many I have. Hold on. Uh, I don't think this is revealing anything awkward. Let's switch. Let me. All right, is this still working? I haven't tested this in a while. All right, yeah. So this is my front end here. If I go to settings, wait, I am showing this. Yeah, I'm showing the right screen. All right. We're talking about, let's see, Z-Wave. I guess I have 13 devices, but that counts the main quick stick combo itself. The frustration that I have with Z-Wave is, one, sometimes I just can't get them connected, and you have to like disassociate them and oh, wrong camera, disassociate them, and that can be frustrating. And also, if I look right here, so this scene controller, which worked really great with smart things. I used to use Samsung smart things, and now I'm using Home Assistant. But when I use Samsung smart things, this device, it's a 7-button device. It's powered by the mains in the wall. I could use each button independently, and it was really cool, and I could do stuff with them, but it does not work well at all with Home Assistant, and it's been nothing but frustrating. So that's why I actually bought the Sonoff thing. I'm going to replace that and get rid of it altogether. But I've had more luck with Zigbee than I have with Z-Wave, even though apparently I have more Z-Wave devices. But anyway, yeah, I just have more luck with the Zigbee, and I think it's a more open protocol too. I think Zigbee is. Z-Wave might be proprietary. I don't remember all the licensing stuff, but Zigbee feels like the one that is more open. And so, hey, that's just that's really cool. And I guess that's all I can do. I just set up the device, and like I did some let's see, animations. I'm just setting these things up. So the living room button, one, that is the Tasmota device that I just have. So here, I'll go back to so it's a switch that goes in the wall, and you can actually like it has a relay inside to like turn on lights and stuff, but I just want the switches themselves. They're just dummy switches. There's no actual thing in the gang box that's being powered. I just want to use the buttons for programmatic usage in the rest of the house. And so I had to set up all these automations. One, that when I push the button, Home Assistant sees the button being pushed using MQTT, and then it turns on a Zigbee switch that I have plugged in for a particular light. But the complicated part is, what if I turn the light off using like Siri or using the Home Assistant app to just turn the light directly off? Well, then the switch on the wall would still be in the on mode. And if I press it to turn it, to do something, it'll turn off and nothing will happen. I mean, it's not a big deal. I could just like turn it off and then turn it back on. But I had to set up another automation that watches for the light to shut off. And if the light shuts off, then it also triggers for the switch to turn to the off position. So anyway, it's actually pretty cool. Sorry, I missed out on chats here. I'll catch up because I got all excited about home automation. Is it possible to become a Linux administrator with a data center tech experience, analytics, I don't really touch operating systems. I mainly work with infrastructure. Infrastructure, I guess it depends on what you mean. Do you mean like physical hardware stuff? Or do you mean, because I mean, infrastructure now, everything is so DevOpsy in the world that if you say infrastructure, I'm not sure if you mean like infrastructure as a service. I think that's an acronym, right? IaaS. Or if you mean like just plugging stuff in. Oh, like rack and stack servers. Okay. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Rack and stack servers. Yeah. So, become a Linux system administrator. So the thing is, becoming a Linux administrator, I mean, yeah, anything is possible, right? I mean, if you enjoy it, then pursue it by all means. and having the experience in the data center tech kind of gives you an inside edge during an interview process. I think, you can talk the talk, if that makes sense. And so, that's cool. And yeah, see, if you enjoy the Linux stuff, then by all means do some of that. And then start to look at combining your schools of knowledge and look at things like infrastructure as a service, and how you might utilize some of your understanding of how racks and stacks work, and take that to a software level to implement, because that's happening a lot more, and it would open up opportunities for you to work remotely, but still utilizing a lot of that knowledge that you have from the physical, racks that you've been working on. That's kind of my thought there. Oh, I missed a bunch. It's awesome that things go by so quickly that I missed them. So let me see. If could repeat those. Yeah, and that's the thing. And the reason they don't repeat is just because of repeating uses batteries. And there's probably a way to program something to repeat stuff with batteries, but I think it would just suck the battery down so fast that in general, they don't. They do make standalone just repeaters, which I actually have one in a box, but my office, as most people know, is pretty messy right now, so I won't grab it. But I don't know why this is really. Hold on. Feels like, I guess it's how it's supposed to be. All right, just felt like that was off the page wrong. Yeah, I have it's just called like a Z-Wave repeater, where you could just plug it into an outlet somewhere and it's supposed to repeat it. I don't know. I like Zigbee more than Z-Wave, but they all are frustrating. The only thing is they don't go out into the cloud, which I really, really like. So that is cool. Oh, this is really good advice, and something that I always forget. Having a GitHub account and some repos, just stuff you're working on, is something that a lot of recruiters and interviewers will look at. So even if it's just a place where you play with stuff, yeah, have a presence on GitHub, and that's definitely really great advice. Like I said, even if you just like put your own bash scripts up there, sanitize them so you're not putting some stuff into GitHub that is private. But yeah, that's good stuff. Welcome, Samples and Tests. Yeah, there's no agenda today, so you have missed nothing. What do we talk about? We've talked about Home Assistant a little bit. I've already forgotten. I'm a terrible host. I should take notes. We talked about cheese. Thank you, Mason. We talked about cheese, and Sean, in referring to myself in the third person, what a douchebag move. I am a vegetarian because I have bad kidneys. And that's an easy way for me to avoid eating a lot of protein. And I think you're caught up. That's about it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're here for. And if you're not in the Discord, please join there as well. It's not as active as it should be, and that is my fault, because I am so far behind on responding to comments and everything. I'm just so far behind, which is weird, but I'm blaming the holidays because I don't want to blame myself. I don't know. But yeah, everybody here is usually in the Discord, or a lot of the people here are in the Discord. So if you have other questions, a lot of people are usually willing to talk there as well. And if you don't there must be a link to the Discord somewhere. The Discord is, snar.co/Discord. But if you go to here, I'll put it in the chat like a good host. Snar.co Discord. So that is a link with an invite into the Discord. Yeah, everybody is welcome, and people usually respond. People are all often busy, and so just leave a message, and if you don't hear back, then you can also always tag me, and then I get guilted into being a decent human. No, but everybody's usually really, really forthcoming with with help and assistance. So yeah, by all means. Anything else going on? Cheese, no meat, home assistant. I can't think of anything else we would ever want to talk about. You ready for product review? So, every home has, well, I don't know if every home does, not every home does, even does Christmas, but a lot of families have Christmas traditions, right? And like we do the Christmas Eve scavenger hunt, which was live streamed again this year. You may have seen that. One of the things that we've always done is we put beef jerky in the kids' stockings and like Slim Jim, just little meat snacks and stuff. Well, it got kind of awkward when I turned vegetarian. My wife is also vegetarian, just kind of in solidarity, but also kind of because it's easier if we just cook without meat, for the two of us. So anyway, but we would always put beef jerky in stockings. And so the past few years we've gone to the grocery store and they just have this plant-based beef jerky, which is like, it's like just like we used to do, but now it's not meat. But they stopped carrying it. And so I ordered some online after the fact. We were just sad. It felt like we were missing out not having beef jerky in our stockings of all things. I know that's ridiculous. But I bought 2 different brands, Louisville Vegan Jerky Company and Noble Jerky Vegan Jerky Company. Noble Jerky, quite delicious, very good texture, good flavor, chef's kiss. Louisville beef jerky, weird. Cannot recommend it. Yeah, just weird. So, yeah, I bet you didn't expect to have a plant-based beef jerky review in the middle of the No Agenda tech live stream. Anyway, I like the plant-based beef jerky too. So see, now we're going down a rabbit hole, you and I. Sorry, everybody else who actually eats real beef jerky still. So the what we used to buy, the grocery store for years, has stocked it's like Gardein or Guardian or like Gardein, I think. That was the brand, right? And it's like a brand of plant-based alternative, like frozen foods and stuff too. And they always had little packages of beef jerky. You could get like teriyaki or original or whatever. And it was tough and it was chewy and it wasn't beef jerky, but it was, it kind of filled that spot in my psyche. And now they don't have that in the stores anymore. Like I can't find it anywhere. I couldn't even find it online. Maybe they stopped making it, but they had Beyond Jerky, like the Beyond Meat Company, or like the Beyond Burgers and stuff. I love their like burger stuff, the Beyond Company. They make crappy beef jerky or beef jerky. It just was not great at all. So, I was trying to find something a little more reminiscent of the old school stuff, and this is not it. This is also not it, but this is good. This is, tasty stuff. Yeah, it is what it is. Oh, okay. Whoever said, I saw somebody said the newsletter was a great issue. Thank you. I always wonder, I want to be transparent about stuff. I have no problem at all sharing financial things. Obviously, if you read about like my bank account getting drained on my blog, but I really was curious, like what it looked like on, the finances of stuff. And so I broke it all down and I talked about it in the newsletter, and I lost my train of thought. Why was I talking about that? There was a connection that I don't remember, but okay. So can you see? I don't know if you can you see what that says there? Reminders, Adderall. Probably broke YouTube rules. Distracted Sean is distracted because he has no Adderall in his system. His ADHD has taken over the live stream. Anyway, I don't remember what it was that I was going to talk about with the newsletter. It was a good connection. Yeah, I have no idea. So pretend it was profound for me, and yay me. Samples and tests. Welcome. You'll probably get like welcome little emojis from folks as well in the Discord. Yeah, Scott, the Noble Jerky is decent. Um, it's it is made with soy protein, black bean sauce. That's probably just a flavor. But yeah, it is. It's soy protein, which I mean, it's fine for me. I don't care. But yeah, that one's good. I do not recommend the other one, whatever the other thing was that I held up. What is it? Louisville. I don't recommend the Louisville stuff. It has the same sort of ingredients, but they don't do a good job. Plant-based anything's a joke. I can't. So I don't know. If you were here earlier, I can't eat meat because of my kidneys. So that's where the whole conversation started. I had stage 3 chronic kidney disease, and I had to eat less protein. And the shortcut for me to eat less protein was to stop eating meat. And not only did it stop the decline of my kidneys, but my kidney function actually has increased over the past few years. So no meat for me. So yeah, it was that was the rationale behind it. And I do still miss some things. You'd think it'd be bacon that I miss the most. And sure, I miss bacon. Bacon was delicious. I really miss meatloaf, which is a weird thing, I know. And I also miss pepperoni, like on pizza. I miss pepperoni pizza. So yeah. So years and years and years ago, I made like actual beef jerky in the dehydrator, and it was so expensive. And it just wasn't very good. And I don't know why. Whatever recipe I followed was like soy sauce and brown sugar or something, but it just wasn't great. And it was, I never did a great job. So yeah, I stopped. And then the dehydrator is weird and got like dirty and sticky. And I know yes, I washed it, but we didn't have a really good one. So it just got kind of warped, I think. And anyway, looking to see how the new merch does. Yeah. So, I think it was Bjorn who messaged me, and I was at a red light that I was reading the message, so I didn't reply yet. But yeah, specifically, I do want to try to do stuff that we can do some locally. Eventually even hire somebody. But in the short term, my wife and I do things like sublimate mugs ourselves, because the markup on mugs, they're expensive. And such a small part of the profit actually comes back. And so, yeah, I think it'd be cool to be able to do those things, ourselves, it kind of goes along with my whole thought process too, right? Like I would like to, give people a good value for their money. And if the profit's going to benefit somebody, I'd like it to be, a human being instead of a large company. Not that large companies aren't made with human beings, but you know what I'm talking about though. The Burger King plant burger. Oh, it was good though. Oh, I am a big fan of the Impossible Whopper. Yeah, although I have to admit, it's probably my taste buds, right? At this point, I haven't had any meat in like 3 or 4 years. So, for me, it's like, oh, that tastes exactly like a burger. I don't know. How would I know? All right, Shane, American bacon isn't real bacon. See, if you were Canadian, I would understand that conversation, because like Canadian bacon is ham, but I don't know. Is there anybody here who is Canadian who could have this conversation with me? Not argument. I don't want to argue about it, but Canadian bacon, which is like the brown slices of ham. So do Canadians just call that bacon, or do Canadians call that Canadian bacon and like regular bacon? I don't know. I don't know the rules of bacon, the international rules of bacon. I also don't know what it is about American bacon that isn't real bacon, Shane. So maybe you could tell me there too as well. Let's see. Do I have any recommendations of FOSS apps to help with documenting projects or changes to Linux servers? A wiki. That seems lame probably, but just keeping a wiki that you can update certainly makes sense. There's a ton of wikis out there, but that seems like a pretty decent way to document changes, because you can make changes and they can be rolled back. Any kind of a versioning type thing. Even something as simple as a Google Doc, but that's not FOSS. So I guess next cloud install, but I would probably do something like a wiki if you wanted to document something, and then you could have multiple people log in and use stuff and see who's changed what. That would probably be my recommendation there. off the top of my head. I mean, there's probably better options. Like we used to do, gosh, what was it? When I worked, this has been back in my day. It's probably been a decade ago, but we used Spiceworks, which wasn't even remotely FOSS, to manage like inventory and configuration and stuff. But I mean, I guess it also depends on what sort of documenting you want to do, because there are things like you could use, what is the, not ZenOS, what is the Nagios competitor? What is the dumb thing called? Hold on. Maybe somebody knows. Nagios alternative. See if I can come up with it. No, give me a list. Not SolarWinds. No. Zabbix. That's what I was trying to think of. Zabbix. And that is just it's like a configuration management type, like monitoring thing. But I think Zabbix also has some documentation ability built in. There are lots of ways to do it. The simplest would probably be a wiki. And I guess I'll leave it with that, and we can talk more about it later, or like in the Discord, because it's a great conversation to have, in particular, like what sort of things you want to document. Thank you, Samples and Tests. That is, remember when I said a little bit ago, like, oh, whoever commented on the newsletter being interesting. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I had something that was connected to that. That's what it was. I was just going to say, if I'm reviewing products on the live stream, I should totally put affiliate links in here, like I mentioned in the newsletter. Thank you, Samples and Tests, for making me feel like I remembered something. That is exactly. I should. I will. I will review Jerky. I'll try and put it in the description. Yes. Yes. So the pottery steward, and interestingly enough, there's more to this. So, without like sharing the post, the thing that I was reading at the stoplight from Bjorn was, about a bunch of stuff, but about creating merchandise. One of them was he was talking about like a pottery studio, right? Like actually making mugs. My daughter, my youngest daughter, has taken like at least 3 semesters of pottery class and made all. I mean, here, just a second. To the point where she has experimented with all sorts of like glazing techniques, and so now she gives me her things that she makes. I mean, and this was like it ended up odd. She's like, yeah, it was an experiment because I wanted to see if I could carve out like partially dried glaze and layers and see what I could do with like carving out. But when you said that, it made me think, hey, yeah, I mean, maybe get stuff for my daughter to actually make some custom pottery. That would be fun. It'd be almost a little bit like Jim Wright sells his pens. They're custom turned on the lathe and stuff. And then she could make some extra money too. So yeah, that would be an interesting thing to do. So anyway, yeah, there's that. What I was thinking is simply buying sublimation blanks and a sublimation printer, and then a heat press to actually create. There's one on my desk. How cool is this? So yeah, this is the Nerdlings mug that is actually available currently on my store, and it does not come with the tea stain on the edge. But this, I could make this pretty easily for much cheaper than they are on the store right now if I got the equipment. So yeah, we're thinking about that. Before next holiday season, we're going to try to ramp up some sort of production. There's not going to be like a huge amount of things. I don't want to have stuff there just because. I don't necessarily want to be like Sean the retailer, the Nerdlings retailer. No, I want there to be a reason and a purpose, and I want everything to have a why, if you will. So anyway, but yeah, that's the pottery thing was interesting because my daughter's really into pottery too. Have I looked at making it into a calendar? I haven't looked into making it a calendar, but Have you signed up? Have you signed up for my newsletter? Which I don't mean that as a pitch, but when I first set up the newsletter, when you first sign up, you get like the welcome thing or whatever, and I specifically drew the character Pink, his grandfather, whose name is Granite Rhombus instead of Pink Rhombus. His name is Granite Rhombus, and he apparently is a firefighter, and it was him all ripply and muscly on the beach. And the joke was that he would have been a perfect calendar model, so I could turn that into my big round world calendar. But no, I didn't think about it, but that is a really great idea. And now that I have this Wacom One, I can actually draw again. So yeah, I mean, a puzzle, I wanted to do multiple puzzles as well, because a jigsaw puzzle, how perfect is that? And if I were to get the supplies to, a sublimation printer, I mean, it's not a secret, but you can convert an inkjet printer into a sublimation printer. Not great because they get clogged and you have to clean them constantly. But it's like something, Sawgrass, maybe Sawgrass brand. If you look for Sawgrass sublimation printer, even if it's not Sawgrass, Google would figure out what Sean meant. But one of those, and then you just print out the sublimation ink, and as long as you have a heat press, you can actually press stuff like onto puzzle blanks as well. Get a big blank white puzzle, press the image onto it, and rather than a puzzle costing, $49, and have, the end profit that comes to me be like $2, it could be affordable, and we press it ourselves. So anyway, that's the sort of thing that we're excited about doing. Yeah, that's probably more than anybody cared to ask. Could it be a calendar? Yes. And I think Granite Rhombus would be one of the summer months, because he's a buff dude. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, subscribe to the newsletter and you'll get that initial message. Thinly cut bacon. Oh, okay. I see. And yeah, we're going back to you were answering the question I asked earlier, because I'm way behind on comments here. Yes. And my wife likes it really crispy. When I was a bacon eater, I liked it kind of chewy. Not quite floppy, but kind of chewy was my favorite bacon. Canadians call our bacon back bacon. Okay. I can take that. And bacon stuffed. Okay. Very cool. Netbox for is this? I assume Jeremy Chara touts Netbox for document. I've never used Netbox, so I don't have any opinion there. Jeremy's a smart guy though, so and I'm sure he has to do a lot more documenting than I do. I just remember everything. Confluence, yeah. So Confluence, that's what I've used at 2 companies now. 1 company for sure. Really big on Confluence. Confluence to me just felt like a big wiki, which and I'm sure that, if somebody's a Confluence fan, they're like, oh no. Well, I don't know. I thought that Confluence was a lot of money for something that seemed, I don't know. It's from Atlassian, I think Confluence is, which they do another big product. I don't remember what. But Jira, maybe? I don't know. I'm kind of confusing all these like big business cloud services now in my brain. But yeah, I would just start with a wiki, because I'm lame and I like things simple. You were very welcome. I don't know if that was helpful at all, but I don't mind talking about stuff. Dwayne, yes, Confluence, Atlassian. Great minds, man. I just hadn't read far enough ahead. And I don't know if Jira is also Atlassian or not, but I feel like it is. That's like the trouble ticket software, Jira is. And a lot of people are now switching from Jira to, what's the new kid on the block? There's a new one, and maybe somebody already mentioned it. Not Jira, but there's a ticket in, I can't remember, but it's another little more user-friendly ticketing system. Oh, scroll down. Oh, read my comic. Uh, oh yeah, so Garfield. Gosh, and I know it's obvious. I mean, it's right there. Oh, double layers there, and they're all over the place. And I still have Garfield pillowcases and stuff, but big Garfield fan. So there was probably Garfield influenced me in a little bit in the making. Garfield's weird now that that Jim Davis sold the rights to Nickelodeon. The comics they've gotten strange. They don't have the same feel to them. Still Garfield, still love them, but just feels different. Have you used yeah, and I should always scroll down before I just keep talking. Yes, I think that Jira is the same. I think it's from Atlassian as well. He's Gemini at work. I've never heard of Gemini. It's bothering me now. I forget the one that I was thinking of. Um, see if I can look in one of my old business accounts that I still have access to. No, no. What is the name of that product? It's not open source. I mean, if I don't find it, I don't find it. I was just trying to think of the name. I think it starts with an A, but I am not positive. They do trouble tickets. I remembered. Anybody have any guesses? Asana is what I was talking about. Asana is the program. Asana is like an alternative to Jira, from what I can tell. Jira and Confluence. I think Confluence is a documentation one. Jira is the trouble ticket one. Both enormously huge programs from Atlassian. And Asana is a trouble ticket and like organization board thing for managing projects. But again, it's a paid cloud service. It's not a locally hosted thing at all. So, anywho. Oh yeah, the old Garfield and Friends animated series. Yes, with U.S. Acres. Yeah, I have all of them. I'm again big fan. And all the Garfield specials from the '80s. If you were a child in the '80s, all of the like every holiday there was a Garfield special with Lorenzo Music as the voice of Garfield, and yeah, I have all of them. I have a lot of Garfield stuff. Let's see. Have I ever used ConnectWise and Ubersmith ticketing system? I have not. The ticketing systems that I have used, I used Jira, not directly Jira, even myself. I was never part of the team that actually used Jira. When I worked at CBT Nuggets, we would sometimes have Jira tickets submitted on our behalf. But then I have used Asana a little. I'm really bad at that organized project management stuff, though. I have used a program that we called Green Sheets when I worked at the school district, which was literally green pieces of paper copied, and there were literally tickets on the bottom that we would tear off. When somebody had a problem, they would do that, and I would leave the ticket when I had completed it. And then I moved to, what did I move to? There was a program. I tried Spiceworks for a while, but I ended up using some open source tool. I will not be able to bring that one back to memory. Some simple open source trouble ticket program, though, that I was using just to keep track. And it was just for myself. I never used it with multiple people or stuff. But anyway. Oh, yeah. The Remedy trouble ticket system. Okay, I hadn't heard of that one. Yeah, I don't know. There must be some open source ones, and maybe some of these are. I don't know. There must be some self-hosted open source trouble ticket stuff as well. It just seems like the kind of thing that there would definitely be open source alternatives to. I just don't have, I don't fix stuff like that anymore. It's just well, that's not true. I mean, I manage data centers, but all the problems are my problems, and I just have a list of things to do. So there's no ticketing system. It's just like my daily list of things I have to get done. So OS Ticket. Okay, that's an open source one. And I'm sure probably if you went to like the Alternative 2 website and typed in Jira, you'd probably get 100 alternatives. Some good, some bad. Carbonated water with flavors. Who's a fan? Who hates it? I love this is an off-brand one from our local health food store, but um, like the LaCroix. Who's a fan of those and who hates it? I love LaCroix type stuff. My wife despises it. Doesn't like it at all. There's probably a way I could put a poll in. Can I put a poll? I'm going to put a poll. Flavored sparkling water. Delicious. Disgusting. Oh no, did that work? Does everybody see a poll? Oh, I think it popped up there. Wow. This whole thing that I did for popping up the things on the screen made it get a little wonky for me, but there, it seems to be working. All right. Oh, disgusting is winning. Well, it depends on the additives. I think that's fair. I like most of them though, so I'm kind of like some of them I'm like it's not great, but I like a lot of them. And then there was a company where so we have a Soda Stream, where you can just carbonate water and then it's just carbonated water without flavor. And there was a company, I cannot remember the name of it, but where you could get drops, really concentrated drops. And it wasn't great. It had kind of a weird mouthfeel to it. I think it was glycerin based, but anyway, I could get gummy bear flavored. So gummy bear flavored sparkling water, that was pretty good. I have to admit, I liked that a lot though. Yeah, the aftertaste is disgusting. I get that. And it tastes pretty salty because, pardon me. There's people that say, oh, all it is carbon dioxide and water. That's not, that's nothing. But it's carbonic acid, right? When it dissolves in water, it becomes carbonic acid, which is fine. It's not like your teeth are going to fall out from drinking it right away. But it definitely has a flavor. Carbonic acid has a flavor. So anyway, water enhancers to make water so much better. Yeah, it depends on the water enhancer. I'm a huge Kool-Aid fan. Again, kid of the 80s. I have lots. I have a disturbing amount of Kool-Aid, some 30 years expired that I would still mix up and drink today. So I like the idea of flavored water, but I don't like sugar because I'm kind of old and fat now. And so I try really hard to avoid just plain sugar. Thankfully, there are good alternatives, but I like the sparkling water without any sweetness. That's what my wife doesn't like. She doesn't like that it has absolutely no sweetness to it. It's just flavor, which is weird, but I don't mind that at all. So, Dwayne, see you later. We only got a couple minutes left anyway, and I have to head out the door and drive for 3.5 hours one way and 3.5 hours back. So, yes. So clearly Canadian, I actually saw in the grocery store yesterday, the clear bottles that look like, they're like, just go up to the top, clear glass bottles. And it, oh, Mason, see you later as well. Bye everybody. Yeah, lost my train of thought. Oh, clearly Canadian. They had it. I didn't buy it, but, I saw it in there and it felt like a nostalgia kick, but, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. The whole flavored water thing. It's super popular, obviously, and the different flavors are popular. I like it. Not everybody does. And it looks like the majority of people here don't like it either. Yeah, we got 78% saying disgusting. Well, more for me. See you later, Mason. Yes, have a great, let's see. I guess it's evening there now. Pretty late evening, probably. So, yeah, have a great evening. The newsletter, it's just going to be nothing but links. Nothing but links. Yeah. It's tough. It's still tough for me to do that. The other thing too, so talking about affiliate links, and I know intellectually there's nothing wrong with me providing affiliate links. Because truly, if you click on an affiliate link, it does not affect your price at all. You can still apply coupons if you have them. It does not affect at all what you pay for something. And then wherever that link came from gets, a small percentage of it, which is just cool. It still feels weird to me though. And yeah, I don't know why. I just gotta get over myself. But the by far the biggest affiliate link program is Amazon, right? I mean that, Amazon affiliate links, that's where you see everywhere. Not the only game in town, but the most popular by several orders of magnitude. My wife works for a local indie bookstore now. So if I review a book, there's no way I'm going to put an Amazon affiliate link there, right? I'm going to link probably to their, indie bookstore website. And is it going to be a little more expensive for the person buying? Maybe. I mean, not always, but it's hard to beat Amazon on pricing, but going to feel a little bit better about buying something there. So anyway, yeah, that was another thing, like Amazon affiliate links. And right now Donna works at a local bookstore. That just feels not great. So probably not going to use affiliate links on books because, oh, I almost just drank yesterday's coffee. Nothing wrong with that, but it would have been a shock. So if anyone was worried that we wouldn't be able to just chat for an hour about nothing, usually I talk about nothing. No. Linux Linus Tech Tips. I assume that's who LTT is. Did a test for gamer energy drinks and Linus talking about color stuff. E5, E6. Okay. The color stuff. I'll have to look at that. Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Kool-Aid though. Big fan. I guess Kool-Aid is making energy drinks now, which good for Kool-Aid. I mean, they got to stay in the game, right? I mean, they got to stay relevant. Kool-Aid is not popular if you're not a 40-something-year-old person striving to get back their youth or something. I don't know, but it doesn't necessarily appeal to me. Like, I don't really want an energy drink at all, much less Kool-Aid. But anyway, it is what it is. So, yeah, I guess, man, we're wrapping right up here. So what's next? What's going to happen next? I'm going to get back on track with the Linux Plus course, and I know people are waiting for those videos, and I'm sorry that there's been kind of a delay getting the things out, but I have a Wacom one now, and so I'll be able to do that along with hopefully doing some comics. I'm not exactly sure where the focus for creativity is going to be, where I'm going to push it for this year. We'll see though. I've been letting myself kind of float for a week or two after the 90 Days of Mayhem, which is completely done now. 90 Days of Mayhem is all done. Obviously, it ended on the 31st, but I updated the website. So if you don't follow me on social media, I did finally update the website. So if you go to 90daysofmayhem.com, I'll put it in the 90daysofmayhem.com. All of the things are actually there now. And I put them all on one page. I didn't paginate because I worked so hard on all those stupid thumbnails. I wanted to be able to scroll and see them all together. So if you go there, you get to see all those silly thumbnails that I made. And you can watch all the videos. I'm surprised 90 videos is a lot of videos. So yeah, that was a job well done, I guess. And it felt good to get all the website completed. So it's like kind of like an archival state now. But anyway, let's see the one. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. So if you're on the Discord, that's one of the response things is the Kool-Aid man, the red pitcher with going through the wall. Oh yeah. That's the Kool-Aid man. It's a weird mascot, but Kool-Aid itself is pretty awesome. So anyway, I guess that's it. I'll wrap up. And yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by and chatting with me. I love it. I look forward to it every week, and that's true. So I'm going to go drive for 7 hours now and start the week tomorrow. So have a good one. I guess I'll finish off in the appropriate way. Learn everything. Do what you love. And most importantly, be kind. And I will see you on the next video and online and writing and comicking and all of those things. Thanks again, everybody. I just love chatting. I hate to hang up, but this is that part where I try to stop the stream casually and confidently, and it's always awkward because I have to look really closely. All right. Bye, everybody.